Top of the morning to you. This is Mark, and I'm going to talk to you about what kind of tools, or I should say, exactly which tools should you buy if you were just hired on as an apprentice electrician. So there's a great amount of tools available to you, and you may think, as a couple of people I've worked with have told me, this is my grandfather's screwdriver, it was good enough for him, and so it's going to be good enough for me. Well, that won't fly. The company that you're going to be working with is going to expect you to have your own tools of good quality and of course know how to use them. Now you'll learn how to use them, but you're going to need to have certain tools right from the get-go. If you don't have them, your company is, I don't know if they're going to help you figure out which tools you are going to need. They may just start telling you off the bat you need, Makita power drivers and Milwaukee this and that and so forth. But I'm here to tell you that these tools that I'm going to show you are the ones that you actually need. So let's get right into it. Most important, probably, is represented by an impact driver. Now, there's a lot of different impact drivers. This is Makita. I do not recommend that you buy Makita or Milwaukee because they're too expensive. Okay, so they're high expense and they don't work really that much better than a Ryobi. So I'm here to say, it's my opinion, that you want a Ryobi impact driver, a medium-sized one, and a second battery for that driver. Okay, this is represented by a Makita because I don't own Ryobi tools anymore. But here's another reason why you should be getting Ryobi. And I'm not getting anything from Ryobi here. I mean, they're not a sponsor or anything, but nobody's going to steal your Ryobi tool. In fact, a lot of tradesmen will rib you a little bit for having Ryobi, as if it's just a do-it-yourselfer tool. But I'm here to say that they work nearly as well as a Milwaukee or a Makita or any high-end brand. Darn near. And for the purposes you're going to be using them, they're just as good. And I guarantee you, here's the problem. You're going to be sent into jobs to do work with other tradesmen alongside. There might be a plumber there, an HVAC guy over there, concrete guy over there, and so forth, and they're coming and going in the job site. You put down your Makita driver, it is going to be stolen. I don't think you'll make it a month before that Makita is stolen because they're highly sought after. You buy a high-end tool, they used to make a joke about DeWalt, nobody steals DeWalt. Well, I'm here to say DeWalt's get stolen also, but Ryobi does not because it's a do-it-yourselfer tool and it's not highly respected in the trades. And it's nonsense, but you need, I would say, get a Ryobi tool and a Ryobi impact driver and put a little magnet on it with electrical tape on the batteries because the little magnet that they come with will not hold a screw. You bump it, the screw will fall off its magnet. But buy these little rare earth magnets, and that's the one to get. So, Ryobi impact driver and an extra battery because that thing's going to run out of power at some point. It may last for days, but you're going to need that second battery. And if you don't have your impact driver working, you're in trouble. Okay, so let me just go through this in no particular order. First thing, you're going to need a belt, a tool belt. Now, this is my opinion that a suspender system with a couple of pretty hefty spaces. This is my own custom deal. I got this at Home Depot. It's a Husky, and so is this, and this is a Husky suspender system. I recommend this because you're going to be carrying this thing around all day. And if it's binding on your hips, I guarantee you are going to be suffering. You can't bend over. You're going to be installing outlets and so forth down on the floor. And suspender system allows you to carry all your tools. you're coming and going into the job site, you need to have all your tools with you. Because like I said, if you don't have them with you, they're going to get stolen. I've just seen it so many times. You won't have that same tool a year from now if you don't carry it with you everywhere you go. So, it's a little pricey, the suspender system. I set it up with zip ties to make it permanent, and I put a hammer belt or a hammer holder on my tool belt. So this is what I used for years. Serviced me very well. Okay, so let's talk about electrical tape. You need to have 3 rolls: white, black, and red. I don't need to explain why. That's my opinion. You need all 3. Okay, so you need a pencil. Put that in your tool belt. Sharpie pen. Carry a Sharpie and a pencil. Okay, so you're going to need one of these little guys. It's a little tripper, or it indicates whether your outlet is installed correctly, whether there's power to it, and make sure it has one of these little the little button on it to trip if it's GFCI. So that'll trip a GFCI. You need one of these. Okay, that goes in your tool belt. 16 foot, not a 32 foot or 25 foot, 16 foot, what do we got here? Tape measure. Metal tape measure. Get a decent one. The cheaper ones they won't last. Headlight. You need a headlight. I have settled on this one. I've had numerous headlights, rechargeable ones and so forth. I buy these, the little Husky, super bright, and it works off batteries, AAAs. It takes 3 AAA batteries. And they're consumable. You might be able to get your company to buy them for you, the batteries, but you're going to need a headlight. Basic 16-ounce hammer. Don't get a nice one. Just get a crummy little, cheapest hammer. That goes in your tool belt. All right. Oh, your impact driver needs to have a 1/4-inch collet. Okay, obviously. And you're going to need at least these 3 to go with it. I recommend regular, magnetized for regular screws. You need one for big screws, which you're going to be driving from time to time. And you can't try to drive a big screw with a regular bit. It just doesn't work, okay? And then if you're going to buy any drills or drill attachments, the one that you definitely will need is a 1/4-inch masonry bit. And don't get a drill, okay? Get it that goes into, I mean, it's a drill, but it doesn't go into an actual drill. It goes into a 1/4-inch collet drive. Because you don't want to be carrying a drill also. You got your driver, and it should function as a drill also. All right, so what are you going to need? Utility knife. Get yourself a decent utility knife and extra blades. Here is an actual consumable. I consider these strippers to be a consumable because they don't last very long. I mean, you'll hit a live wire with them and destroy one of the. I mean, they just end up replacing them every couple of months, every 6 months or so. So it's personal preference as to what kind of a stripper you should get. I mean, this is a, what? This is a Klein? I'm not sure. But it's basic. There's all kinds of strippers with all kinds of features, you know, everything from sheath stripping but this is just the basic one, okay? And they're not that expensive, but you're gonna need a stripper for sure. Okay, then here's a concept that I have used for years, the multi-tool. So 16-in-1, it's got every kind of bit and capacity there for flathead and Phillips head and so forth, different sizes. All these bits come in this one thing. This is a good idea so that you have everything that you need in your tool belt as far as that goes. Decent level. You need it to be super magnetized so that you can set it on a metal box. You're going to need a decent level, a little torpedo level like this. this function. I don't know if it's necessary. I use it from time to time, but really the 45-degree angle thing, I mean, I use it once in a while, but you're going to need a decent level, okay? Because you simply can't eyeball everything, okay? You gotta have an angle. I tell my apprentices, you know, don't even show up without your level, because you're gonna install a box and it's going to be crooked. You're going to install something on the wall. Okay, so then here's another one. This is not a consumable. I go with Klein. Klein is an excellent product, and if you don't really have that many that you have to buy. So, pair of needle nose pliers with basic cutters. These things last forever. Okay, so here's a couple of screwdrivers. Basically, you're going to need a flathead, tiny, a flat, long screwdriver. This isn't an absolute necessity to have the flat, long one. But here's one that's actually, I think, a necessity. You got to get one of these little squigglies. Okay, it's called a squiggly driver. And I've had this one for years, and it was a mistake to buy the one with the replaceable, or the bit is replaceable for, what do you call that? Phillips and flat. Just get the one that's flat. Flathead, squiggly. Don't get the one that's got the replaceable bit that you can take out, because this bit is held in place by a thicker component here, and you're going to be using this to go into the wall and find studs. Okay, so of course you obviously use it as a squiggly to do your high-speed screwing with a flathead screws. This is what you need. Okay, a squiggly flathead. Obviously you're going to need a basic Phillips head, basic flathead screwdriver. Again, I use Klein. And then here's one that you may not have thought of, a number 2 square drive. Okay, in Klein again. All right, then you're going to need a large screwdriver. Not for driving screws, but as for demo work.